Welcome to Nexus Edge, the show that will help you get an edge on the competition. I'm your esteemed host, Turd Herder, and today I've been joined again by my stupendous panel. So starting at the top, we have our regular panelist, Ziltoid.
Hello, everybody.
And we have our other regular panelist, Whoa No.
Hello, Clarice.
That's creepy. And never again, please. And today, we've been joined by our extra special guest panelist, Slexia. How are you?
I am just fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for being here. We all appreciate it. So before we get into the brass tacks of what's going on in the Nexus this week, why don't we introduce you? So, no.
Maybe.
What is your primary role in NGS these days?
Well, I guess I'm a caster now. After just fumbling through a few co-casts, here I am.
There you go.
As a caster.
Very nice. Who you've been casting with? Weenus, B-Train, anyone else?
Mongoose. I've casted mostly with Weenus. He is my safe place. And that's weird to say considering it's Weenus, you know what I mean? But once with B-Train and once with Mongoose, yeah.
Fabulous. Now, you used to play in NGS. How many seasons have you played?
Honestly, it's a blur. Probably 2.
Very nice.
2 different games. Actual games, only 2 games. And yeah.
It's
2 seasons, 2 games.
That's the same number of games I have this season. So
nice. It's a hearty 2.
There you
2
go.
L's as well. Just
and when you are playing Heroes of the Storm, what is your favorite role to play?
It's a trick question. I do enjoy support, but I'm a Sylvanas main, so I guess you can say I'm a ranged assassin main.
With the new hero roles, I'll accept it. So,
yeah.
All right, guys. And before we move on to the very next topic, let's talk about what happened in the Nexus this week. Wono, what happened?
A logical decision, lost a real tough, heartbreaking match, 2-1. We played up against, Wholesome
Halfwits.
Wholesome Halfwits, that's right. Dr. Cieli and our friends at Wholesome Halfwits gave us a good match. We managed to take the first one, and then they swung back and took the next 2. Good series, fun series, great guys at Wholesome Halfwits. Would love to win, but don't mind losing to those guys.
There you go. Whoa, did you get to play any of the new Lucio?
Actually, after those matches, to just kind of cool down, everyone was a little bit on edge after losing, as happens. We just hopped into a bunch of quick matches, and I spammed probably like 6 or 7 Lucio games just in a row.
What's your initial thoughts here?
He feels strong to me. High Five, the new heroic, I'm still a little bit on the fence about. Sound Barrier still just seems the superior choice. However, I am loving being able to have both Sound Barrier and Reverse Amp at 7 now, because Reverse Amp was my absolute favorite. So
yeah.
But once you get over just the slight tweaks and like how his speed feels and everything, he does feel quite a bit stronger, I think, and he will be making his way up into the support meta.
Definitely feels stronger. Definitely feels a lot slower. I played only a couple games with him, but wasn't digging.
Yeah, I feel like Accelerando at 1 is still very much the pick, just because it helps you feel that much faster. But when you're caught away from walls, he does feel slow.
Right.
And his new trait, the hop off or whatever, definitely takes some like getting used to. I still don't feel comfortable using it and forget it's there half the time. So
I was going to say the exact same thing. It really rewards players who play on the wall or can play around the walls. So that'll be something I'll be happy to work on. I'm sure you'll be happy to work on it. Slexia, did you get any casts in this week?
Yes. The weeks have kind of blurred together, but this week, I believe Weenus and I casted a game. I do believe. What game was it? I cannot recollect.
It was.
Let me think about that.
Yeah. There were heroes. There were abilities. Level 10s.
Yeah, it was.
One team won, the other team
went to
didn't.
3. I know that. I think B Train, the game I casted with B Train, was this week too.
Okay.
So that was a Division C game, and then the one with Venus was Div A, and that was Nobo versus who was it? I don't recall. I am
Noble Ferrets? The Ferrets?
No, actually, that was a forfeited game by Ferrets. The one before that, we have some. I think some clips of that.
Lion Speed.
Lion Speed, yes.
There you go. Yes,
I got you.
It was an interesting set. It was fun.
There you go. And Ziltoid, anything? You casted a couple games this week.
Quite a few. Geez, this week, what did I do? 6 games.
You've been busy.
You've
really
been a busy boy.
I think I casted. I did a replay cast of Soccer Bricks and Baddest Dudes. I did a live cast of Lubu versus Team Training Wheels. I did a live cast of Team Rectum versus UARC Esports. I did a live cast of Regen Blue versus Off-Brand Cereal. And then today I just finished 2 replay casts on Dread Pirates versus Ferrets, as well as Dive Hard versus Ginormous Jaegers. So that'd be 6.
Holy cow. Lots of stuff going on this week for all of us. And I actually got to play in our match. It was a lot of fun.
Good job, man.
Did a lot of good things, I think.
You made it to the big leagues.
We'll get Arthur now to confirm later if you did do the good things or not.
We ran a Malfurion Garrosh combo comp. Ooh. It was all about, can he flip, can I land the root? And I think I did.
You pressed the E?
I pressed the E button.
Wow.
You didn't miss your E?
No, that was last season.
Gotcha. Call back.
That's me every time I play Malfurion.
Yeah, no, we were feeling it. We went into a warm-up game. We were feeling the combo. He was hitting the flips. I was hitting the E's. So we were like, let's run it. Let's do it live. And it worked. So good stuff.
Does that mean Lulu was out this week?
Stukov OP God Lulu was out this week. But she is going to be returning, I believe, this upcoming week. We'll see.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's... Come on, man.
Great here.
No, Lulu's great. She obviously gets the number 1 seed, by far the better support player on the team. So I simply get to play when she's unavailable, and it's always a pleasure. So there's that. All right. It's time for the meat and potatoes of the show. Let's talk about some trending heroes, teams, matchups. What's going on? What happened in Heroic Division, Ziltoid? Start us out.
Lots of stuff, actually. It was a pretty busy week. Just give me a second here. I'll get all my stuff up and ready to go.
Perfect.
I wasn't prepared, clearly.
Because we don't start with Heroic every week. It's,
So we did have the show match that happened this last week.
Yep.
And that was Revive Esports and Celeb Gaming.
How'd that go? I actually wasn't able to watch it, so.
It was a pretty tight series. I think Revive took the first game, and then Celeb took the next 2. So it was definitely went back and forth. Nothing. We shouldn't have expected anything else. Like, Revive has the most points this season because they've finished all their matches.
Right.
Celeb Gaming, obviously getting the wins does probably secure them that position, but they still need to play Abusement Park, who beat Revive Esports. So we'll also have to see how that goes. That was a pretty interesting, very tight matchup between those 2 teams. Revive did take out Moto as well this last week. So just kind of helping them secure more of those victories. Like we were seeing, like we've been seeing them take this. So we do. I mean, I think all 6 of these teams are going to be in the playoffs because of 2 dropouts. And so it'll be interesting to see how it all kind of fleshes out. But I'm thinking we're going to see Abusement Park, Revive Esports, Celeb Gaming kind of taking the top there. The next team basically in the division in the standings is Insomnia, and Moto have been kind of trading it out. So it'll be interesting to see which one of those guys secure kind of the next spot in where we're at. So, and then Div A.
Well, actually, before we move on, Heroic, any players that you saw some really nice plays come out of? Anyone that we should be keeping an eye out?
Fun Buns was lighting it up this week in the damage department, for sure. And support-wise, we're seeing a lot of plays from Revive as well. There was quite a few Div A actually this last week. So Nobo Esprouts is still dominant in the top of the standings. And we've seen a lot of play. Like, we really got to watch out on that team in particular with their tank and support pairing. Bernie Burn is just lighting it up across the board as a support. I know I've highlighted him probably week after week after week, and he continues to do so. And they're racking up the wins left and right. I don't think they've actually lost a match. They've dropped matches, but they've not lost a match yet this whole season. So really lighting it up at the top there. Give me the D Shield, which was their first matchup that we had against them on a Thursday night showdown, is kind of taking up the second spot, with Queen's Consorts being the third spot there. Thick Mama Whitemane has been the one that's kind of dropped down a bit, but I think we still have a bit of matches for them to catch up on, because I only have 4 matches recorded for them so far, so they're definitely going to need to catch up on it. Now, the big one that I just cast, that I just got on YouTube, was Dread Pirates versus Ferrets. Yeah. Now this is supposed to be Dread Pirates is actually lagging behind in the standings of Ferrets, but they took a 2-0 domination over them. So that'll be on the YouTube channel. Hopefully that'll be posted by Jason here in the short, because I did get the submissions done this afternoon. So hopefully tonight or tomorrow, those will be up on the VODs, or you can obviously visit my channel, twitch.tv/psziltoid, and catch the VOD that I have of that matchup. Dread Pirates and Ferrets are super back and forth, but Dread Pirates just managed to clinch it out in both games, and they kind of lost the mid game, and then they were able to bring it back into later on. So
and those
definitely
are the games you always want to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Like, they definitely did it. So the Real Uni had some fantastic support plays in those matches. So someone I'd like to highlight, she's been doing a fantastic job in the support area this whole season, actually. If you pay attention, she's been really kind of being that rock for that team very, very well. And then the Slithering one is also, and Sir Stiggles. Both of those players have been fantastic on the backline for DPS. So 2 players definitely to watch out for currently in Div A. Overperforming. These are stats compiled by Ryokai for us, actually putting them together for us, so I appreciate that. Yeah. So Zeratul, 7.8% win rate, 9 games. He's obviously not being let through on a lot of those games. He's got a huge involvement rate. We're talking like 95%. So like, he's banned in almost every other game in the Heroic division as of right now. So like, it's just absolutely, he might even have 100% involvement rate. I'd have to relook at the stats of the Storm thing again. But so Zeratul, Maiev still very much up there in the statistics, in the ban, picks, and win rate. We hear it every week. Yeah, right. Abathur has 4 games played and 100% win rate. So whenever that makes it through is absolutely dangerous. So definitely not allowing that through. Things that are being with a high win rate that are still being allowed through would be things like Garrosh with an 80% win rate in 10 games, which is actually pretty dang good. And then Raynor as well with a 63.6% win rate in 11 games. So both those heroes have been playing quite a bit and performing at the same time. Underperforming, and Heroic specifically, Orphea, 18.2% out of 11 games. I mean, that's just terrible. Just not able to get any wins on that hero at the highest level of the amateur scene, it appears. Phoenix also with a 0% win rate in 6 games, and Brightwing with a 20% win rate in 5. So that is Heroic division for you. Looking at Div A, Zeratul again at a 71.4% win rate in 7 games. But again, that's 7 games out of probably 20-some bans or something like that. It's just absolutely not being allowed through. And when it is, it's winning games. So you'll see this in Heroic and A divisions quite a bit. One of the ones that's getting let through a lot, but is also performing well as a Nubarak at 64.7% win rate in 17 games. So he's being picked a lot. He's being let through a lot because I imagine things like Diablo and other stuff are also getting banned because they're not up here.
On a Nubarak, for the league wide for the last week, he gets the number 1 spot. So he kind of came out of nowhere. I don't think he was on that list last week, but he's getting an 80.2% win or popularity in the whole league. 46 games, that's 23 bans. So about 60 plus games out of 100. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So another kind of one that's been popping in there, this is pretty unique to A that I've been seeing for the most part. Medivh, 8 games, 75% win rate. Mephisto with 100% win rate on 4 games. I'm not going to take credit and with the CTV Nexperts video with Met on that one. And Varian with a 62.5% win rate. And I think this is actually highlighting Dread Pirates again. They did have a roster swap. They picked up Delurker, and he has literally played nothing but Varian in every single game I've seen him play. And he's won almost every single game that he's played on that hero. So Dread Pirates is an absolute threat if that guy gets Varian. So I think those are interesting highlights, at least as far as like the win rates are concerned. Yeah. As far as like underperforming heroes, I gotta highlight this one. Greymane, 8 games played, 0% win rate. Ooh. That's just terrible for Greymane mains out there. I feel bad for you. He's not having an easy time.
Greymane
Malfurion is at 33.3% win rate in 9 games.
Oof.
Which is also kind of underperforming compared to a lot of the other healers. And Vala has an 8 game win, 25% win rate in 8 games. So definitely some of these heroes that are clearly comfort picks, but not quite working out for a lot of these players. Sony has a 38.5% win rate in 13 games. So again, lots of comfort picks, but just nothing really coming about it, and that's just kind of unfortunate for those.
Very nice.
I'll leave it at that.
And Slexia, no bow E-Sprouts. That's is that your favorite team? A favorite team?
It's a favorite team. Definitely have friends on that team, and can confirm the ARAM practice that they do have. I have been the guinea pig and have been murdered several times by them.
And if I understand correctly, they will only play ARAM against teams if they are on the blue side?
That is something I am not sure about. Richard Gere, their PR lead, would have to confirm that. Yeah. But what I can say is, even more meta than the actual team themselves, Ragnarok and Richard Gere have their own stat war with the most kills. And
I've seen that.
Yeah. And unfortunately for Rag, Richard Gere just keeps sniping those kills.
There you are. Moving on, Wono, give us some Div B news.
Out of Div B, you guys are probably getting tired of hearing of these teams. Gilly Shark continues to stay at the top of Division B East. That being said, they did drop their first map of the season to the Minion Miners.
Right.
So good job to Minion Miners. I haven't gotten around to watching that series yet. I don't think it was casted, but
I have it on good word that from Cawthon that game was just insane. Really good match.
Definitely believe it. I highlighted it last week as the game to watch, so looking forward to catching back up on that one. Minion Miners stay solidly in 3rd place, just behind NUES, newcomers to NGS, at number 2. Over on B West for teams, Virtual Murky Slayers continues their undefeated rampage through B West. After that, Logical Decision takes spot number 2, despite our loss to Wholesome Halfwits, who round out 3rd place tied with Reborn Knights Red. The Reborn Knights gets the slight edge because they have an extra domination going in. But the 3 teams were at 11 points. Those 2 are at 10 points.
Yeah.
A couple games left to be played. Anything could happen, really.
When you're starting to see in these divisions, at least B West, B East, and to a certain extent A and Heroic, that it's getting a little closer at the top and a little closer at the bottom, and then there's not a whole lot in there in the middle.
There's a little less in the middle.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Is there any players from Division B that we should be watching?
Yeah, so looking at KDA, Antasti, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, out of NUES is sitting at 12.44 KDA with 8 games played. So obviously, support player there, playing some Malfurion and Tyrande, doing a good job keeping them up, getting some kills, not dying himself. Moving over to DPM, we have Fragastellar, who is out of Jailbait, topping the DPM at 35, 68, and 18.18, so doing a lot of damage over there. Afish continuing to be highlighted, good player out of Duratan's Couch. Duratan's Couch isn't doing too hot this season, unfortunately, but Afish seems to be trying to carry the team himself there. Healers, want to highlight Taco Cat out of Team Training Wheels. Super nice guy, doing a good job near the top for most of the healing statistics. Both Chemotripsin and Zergy Monster out of Gilly Shark doing a good job. They kind of switch in and out depending on who's available. Yeah, I didn't come super prepared for hero stats. We can move over to actual heroes, though, instead of just players.
Yeah.
So in B East, tanks are pretty dominant for bans right now, as is kind of expected. 3 out of the top 5 heroes that are being banned, Diablo, Anubarak, Garrosh. I don't think any of those come as a surprise. Second slot is Ana. Third slot, Maiev. Ana, after her rework, very high priority hero, sitting at 60% win rate so far in B East. Maiev, only a 20% win rate. So not doing super hot when she's picked, but still getting banned quite a number of times. 40.5% ban rate, so even though she's not getting those wins, people are respecting her. Over on B West, we get a fairly similar story. Filtered by ban rate here. Ana takes over Diablo's spot for the #1 banned hero for good measure. 77.8% win rate when she does get let through. So I think she was at 80% last week when we talked about her, so she has dropped a little bit, but still absolutely crushing it. 88.5% popularity, so she's getting played, she's getting banned, she's winning games. Kael'thas actually sneaking into 4th place for bans at 21. That one I find pretty interesting. 56% win rate. And Imperius actually takes the 5th spot. 19 bans, 60.7% popularity, though his win rate is looking a little shabby at 44.4%.
Not too shabby. Slexia, you got anything to add on Div C?
Well, I was fed stats. I did request a Cabana Boy, however, instead I received.
Did he not get there? I shipped him overnight.
I got one of those palm leaves. Just imagine this.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna have to read it off of my phone like it's 2017 or something, I guess. So here we go. So Div C, we have some overperforming heroes for sure. It looks like the highest performing hero is Sylvanas. No surprise there. She's fabulous. And that's all for overperforming. We don't need to cover the Diablo. But, you know, the 7 games that Sylvanas has played has that 85.7%, which is really high. Really high. When we look at... I'm looking at all of these overperforming heroes, and it's just mostly tanks with specklings of comfort picks or the usual like Kael'thas. But I want to go to underperforming just because the most interesting statistic I see here is underperforming Garrosh at 14.3% win rate.
Wow.
Far cry from his win rate in the higher divisions.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw this and was kind of blown away.
How many games is that?
7.
14.3%.
So they won one game.
Yeah, 1 game on 7,
Yeah, math.
Holy cow. I mean? Yeah.
That's really low.
I can also do that.
That is low.
Because he is so popular. And when we think about seeing a Nubarak and all of these other tanks that are up in the overperforming area, for Division C, Anubarak is actually not even in the overperforming section.
Yeah.
Which is interesting alone. But you know, I think people gravitate in their drafting to pick a hero because it's meta.
Right.
And that's something I want to point out about Division C and the game that I casted. The meta there's no logic with the meta in Div C. And so
have you seen Div B? Because let me tell you.
No, I haven't. But you know, when I was casting with Mongoose, we did a Cursed Hollow game, and we had a team that was taking the tribute and boss at the same time, just bottom lane, basically straddling the fence, and got to core with that on the first curse. Like, there are no rules or logic, and I am convinced that kind of behavior trickles its way up into the higher rankings, because
it's a trickle up, not a trickle down.
It's like the mystery spot in Santa Cruz. Sorry, I know you don't have that in Canada, but you know what I mean. It's crazy that this happens. They had a core call with a bit of the shield coming off the core at that first curse. So when I do look at these stats and I do see the low Garrosh, as low as that percentage is, I'm not surprised, because Garrosh doesn't fit into an unconventional cheese method. You know what I mean?
Gotta know what you're doing.
And just to point out, Garrosh is pretty bad into quite a few meta assassins right now, notably Jaina, Raynor, both really strong into him.
Right.
Both
Hanzo's
with high win rates across all divisions too, right?
Yeah. Easy to play, easy to get value heroes who do very well into Garrosh. So I think in the lower divisions, at least, where players have tougher times countering heroes that play well into them, that's probably accounting for some of that win rate.
Right.
Absolutely.
I could keep talking, and I will. So give me a second. Let me just let me just add a couple other things. You know, for healers in the overperforming area, we see just the normal Deckard Cain, but 66% with 12 games on him. Rhaegar, unfortunately, is up here and overperforming with 63. And then Malfurion with the highest, Malfurion at 83.3% with 6 games. So, yeah, what logic? You know what I mean? What
getting
logic?
it done in C, but not in B.
Yeah.
Hey,
Deckard is actually kind of a curious point, actually, that it's performing very well in C. So
yeah.
Right.
Do you have any of the standings in front of you, Slexia?
Nope.
Why don't you pull up a Division C West, and we'll go to Wono with Division C East, and we'll talk about who's doing well over there. So
are we going to me first? Or?
Yeah, why don't you start us out, Wono, with Division C East?
C East is truly the wild, wild east of divisions. Sorry.
What?
They have 3 teams all tied at the top with 15 points each. Calculated Throw, the Found Vikings, and Regen Red. Want to highlight Regen Red, who kind of had a rockier start to the season, but have managed to find their footing and have really turned it on. We've highlighted a couple of their highlights in games in the past. Calculated Throw and Found Vikings, both 2 well-known NGS teams, strong from the start. Worth mentioning, the Found Vikings is 1 game played less than the other 2. So with the 1 more game, they have a chance to overtake them and take the top spot. And right behind them is Almost Legends at 14 points, also missing 1 game from those other 2 teams. Mm-hmm. So Almost Legends could even swing ahead and surpass Calculated Throw and Regen Red. After that, things drop off a little bit. UARC Esports, House of Ches, Zul'jin Distillery, Winky Face, all at 11 or 10 points each. So only a couple games left in the season, but definitely a lot can shuffle even at the very top of the division. So I look forward to seeing how that plays out.
And Team Rectum, I think that was Weenus in my pick for champion.
Mm-hmm.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities, but they're definitely at the bottom there. They're going to have to work really hard to get it into the playoffs and then go from there. Mm-hmm. So I'm still pulling for him. Still my number 1 pick.
Yeah, I got to cast on this last weekend. It was a close. It was a good back and forth set, but
how many times did you say their name until you stopped giggling?
I managed to get through the cast.
You are a stronger man than I. Slexia.
My chat was giggling quite a bit, though.
You're right. Slexia, moving on to you. Division C West. What are you seeing in the standings?
So in the standings, I'm seeing on top with 15 points, Can't Counterpick Stupid, which is followed by a three-way tie with 13 points by Ginormous Jaegers, Rush B, and Dive Hard. Yep. From there, it drops off to 9 points with two teams, Plug Walk and Paraloot. Lurk Patrol behind that with 8. Dat Task, though, with 5. And I Cup.
Good.
That's good. You passed the test.
Okay. Whew. All right. My nerves have finally subsided. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Ziltoid. What do you make of that task, though, being at that point in the standings?
All I'm going to say is that in Season 4, they were 7th seed and won the whole division, including the championships. So they like to meme a bit, get right in at the end, and then they like to win the playoffs. So I'm still expecting that task, though, to maybe come out. But I don't know. Competition's a bit is pretty tight. So, I mean, they might not be able to pull it off this season like they did 2 seasons ago.
Quickly on Division C, the east side of it, Almost Legends, or because their name is in all caps, like Almost Legends!
Yeah.
They're the ones that cheesed the core, I believe. They won that.
That was the Cursed Hollow match?
Yeah. And that was my first team. They were part of the first co-cast I ever did. And so I will never forget them. And I can't ever pronounce the captain's name because I turn it into a Spanish name. I believe it's Bellalos.
Bellalos.
Yeah,
but I call him Bellalos.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Needs like a little ukulele strum after like dun 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 dun.
It's Bellalos or Bellalos because I said it like that one time too.
You guys are making me very nervous for when I have to pronounce his name a little bit later. But moving on to Division D. Division D East, we had a couple games played, not too many. I think most importantly out of that one, we had Nexus Cats playing Olaf and the Sweaty Bandits for Monday Night Showdown. That went handily over to the Nexus Cats. That was their flex match, so they're putting on more points on the board. And actually, in the Division D East, I think they are... With 6 games played, they're at 16 points, 3 points ahead of second place. So Nexus Cat's definitely pulling ahead. Frankfurter's Full Meta Jacket. Full Meta Jacket actually kind of coming out of nowhere. I don't want to say nowhere because they've been doing very well throughout the season, but last week they were 5th place. This week they're contending for 2nd, 3rd, first, depending on the day and that stuff. So that's definitely shout out to those guys. Definitely, as someone in Division D East, we've had to up our scouting game a little bit to include them. So shout out to those guys. Moving on over to Division D West. Let me go over to... Where are you? We had a couple games played. We had Clouded Minds playing Sack of Bricks. Clouded Minds going 2-0. So they're a top team there. And then I think we also had Asmo Carey and OC Peach Boys. Those guys are 2 people out of the middle of the division. Top middle going at it. And I think that match went to Asmo Carey in a domination. So definitely doing some good stuff. As far as standings go, Pigeon Stitches is still number 1, followed closely behind by Clouded Minds, followed closely behind by OC Peach Boys and Boogan Squad, followed closely behind by Asmo Carey. So definitely very close division again. My faithful Nexus turds fall into number 9, but I have faith. They have some new roster adds. They're playing real strong. They're practicing every day from what I can tell. So don't count them out yet is what I would have to add out of Division D. As far as for players, I just pulled some stats earlier this morning. The Full Meta Jacket has the most takedowns. They weren't in the top 3 last week, so that's pretty notable. Best KDA is going to go over to the Nexus Cats at 2.7. Most popular hero is going to remain Kael'thas and Diablo.
Oh, yeah.
That's that Silver Team League meta, man.
Fire boys.
Oh, yeah.
Most played hero is Joanna and Raynor. Kael'thas still the exceptionally banned hero with 60 bans in the last over the whole league. Most KDA is going to go over to Barber. I don't know what team he's on, but he's got the most kills in the division. Best KDA going over to Michael. Again, I don't know. I don't know what team he's on, but Michael, maybe Jordan. Goat, maybe he's a goat. I don't know. Highest average damage attack power, so that's pretty fitting on OC Peach Boys, 77,000. And then for the Division D meme awards, apparently these are all coming out of Sack of Bricks. We have the most B steps is Barber, overpassing Slexia from last week.
Whoa.
So yeah, that one's pretty big. Most sprays, top 4 are still Nexus Cats. So I did my best to try and get up there, but it just didn't happen. But that guy, Shadowguard, Lulu, and Arthanel, all the top 4. Mark Zombie, the assistant captain, or go ahead.
Not surprised the cats are spraying everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I made that joke. Yeah. Yes. And most dances is still Slexia, 628. I don't know what this guy is doing.
How is
He's literally just dancing. That's what he does.
Slexia, my friend, you are amazing. He's a DPS player.
What?
He plays assassins.
So he's a technical guy, just pushing technical buttons, including the dance button. It's the
An auto
only
attack
way.
hero, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And one quick, what I've called a wall of not like this. We have a spray death leader at Malarum. I believe that's on. I think he's on Sack of Bricks, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah,
he died while spraying. So rest in peace, Malarum.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, you hate to see the memes.
Rest in peace.
You hate to see the memes be that disastrous for your team, but can't always be the dreams. And that's going to wrap up Division D. Any of you guys see anything out of Division D that you liked?
I'll be honest, I wasn't around at all NGS this week. I had a real busy week, so I'm just catching up on everything now. Is there anything I should look into though? Do you have any recommendations?
Nexus Cats versus Olaf and the Sweaty Bandit.
Hey.
I also casted Sack of Bricks versus the Baddest Dudes. So
was that? They're pretty close in the standings. That might have been a good match, right?
Yeah, Sack of Bricks won 2-0, I think.
Very nice. All right, guys. I think it's time that we play a little bit of a game. What do you guys think?
Game
what kind
time.
of game?
It's going to be the crowd favorite, Turd's Talents.
Oh boy.
Game noise.
Insert crowd screaming with excitement.
Yeah, filmed in front of our live studio audience.
Yeah, right?
It's just Zoltoid's cats.
Basically, yeah.
And his kids.
Kids are down the hallway. I just got the cats at the moment.
They're happy about it too, though.
Cats are amazing. My cat's been clawing at my leg this whole time. So.
Good stuff. So the way this is going to work, just in case you haven't watched the first time we did this, I'm going to name some talents. I'll give some clues if I think it's necessary, and you guys collectively have to pick the hero that the talent belongs to. If you can avoid it, no Googling, that'd be cheating.
Oh, absolutely not. Wait, we have to work together? We're not competing?
We competed last time and it went so poorly that I think we need to...
Okay.
The winner was 1 point, I think.
No, I tied, damn it. Jesus.
Yeah, Zoltod and I each got one.
I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm ready. Let's collaborate.
All right, time for some Turd's Talents.
All right.
First one, Deadly Strike.
Alaric?
Genji.
Whoa, do you have a guess?
No.
It's Chen.
What?
Okay.
B-Train is all looking down on all of you.
Oh god.
Wow, good. Good.
The shame of B-Train.
I don't play the Panda Pals, so
Yeah, I played him once in an ARAM, I believe with Nobo, and got flamed so hard that I will never touch him again.
It's good.
Just
It's
kidding.
good.
I will play him every day now.
All right. So 0 points for the panelists. Moving on.
Ooh.
Cold Hand of Death.
Malthael.
Yes, that's a Malthael, I think.
Ziltoid.
sure.
Zool. Wrong Diablo character.
What?
Hell no.
Okay.
0 points.
We're editing this whole thing out. It's embarrassing.
Let's find all the meme heroes that no one plays, and
I think
Yeah.
at least
just those
one
10.
person on the
Like-
panel will get this one.
Slightly less memey.
Yeah. Are you ready?
If you're
Ready.
BKB.
Manticore.
Oh, that's Vala. I know that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that was easy.
Hey.
I knew that one was going to be hit, so.
Good job, Lo. Good job. I
I know good talents.
Yeah. Here's a good one. I think it's a good one. Pinball Wizard.
I know that one.
Oh, that
ETC.
one is ETC, yeah.
Yep. So that one was done. Afterburner?
Junkrat? No.
Blaze?
No.
Is it
No.
Junkrat?
No. Oh,
Hmm.
Woe seems like he might know it.
I feel like I do know it, but
It's the Murden of the Skies.
oh, it's Falstad.
Yeah,
Right.
there you go.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you're right.
What does that
I
talent
don't
do?
know what it
No,
does.
it's like a cooldown of his barrel
The
roll.
E.
Yeah,
Or it's, no. It's the speed increase from his barrel roll.
There we go. I
What a bad.
I barely
talent.
play Heroes of the Storm. I don't know talents.
I don't know the name of it, but I know what it does.
There you go.
Yeah.
This one, Circle of Protection.
Alex Jocelyn.
That's a good guess, actually.
Yeah.
The Circle
No.
of Protection.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't sing. Please edit that out.
Not
ooh.
Tyrael.
It's a former specialist.
A former specialist.
Oh, easy, Medivh.
Osmodan?
Medivh.
Medivh. Oh, that's the one
Oh!
that puts the shield
geez
on everybody.
Louise. This is
Yep.
the worst.
Yep. Only a couple left here. I don't know. How many points do you guys have?
Negative 70.
Give or
I'll go
take.
with that number. That's a good number.
We missed like the first three and got like the last three, so I think we're like 3 or 4 points. Something like that.
Soma Transference.
I know that one. My boy
Morales.
Not Morales.
Abathur. Abathur.
It's Ab-
Abathur. And then this is the last one that I have on my list. Domination.
Just domination.
Domination. Dominance is leaning, so domination.
Any guess?
It sounds like a bad Garrosh talent. That's my
like
best guess.
Sonya.
Zeltoid, any guess?
Are we like close, warm, cold?
Yeah, I have no idea.
So-
Sonya's
hit.
closer.
Sonya's closer.
Arthas?
Domination.
No.
Not
How
Arthas.
tastes your fear? Bjork?
Malthael.
Come on. That's Diablo's like catchphrase thing he does.
Oh,
like,
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Domination,
No.
of course, right? I'm not a tank
Who
player, so I
knows?
forget.
I mean,
Sonya was closer because Diablo Universe.
I get it, I get it,
Then
Diablo.
wait, we're working as a team. My bad. We win.
You beat me. If you all right,
Yeah.
name
More
a talent that
accurately.
you don't think I'll get.
I think Domination's the charge stacking talent at 15.
Ooh.
A talent
get
that
one.
I don't think you will get.
This will be easy because there is a lot of them that I won't get.
Okay. So you kind of alluded to playing support, right?
Festering wounds.
So,
Wait, Festering Wounds. Oh, I think. You're gonna say this hero, and I'm gonna know who it is. Is it Zagara?
Nope. Close though. Former
Who is it?
specialist.
Is it not Gazlowe?
Newly minted ranged assassin.
Murky?
Slexia main.
Oh,
Slexia.
Sylvanas.
Oh, there you go.
oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to
Yeah.
find a
It's he-
hero.
I got one for you, turd.
Not to guess.
Go ahead. What is it?
Focused beam.
Mm.
Is it Tassadar?
It is Tassadar.
Yeah, it is that.
I forgot this talent existed, so I just picked like an obscure one.
What does that one even do?
It's his level 16. While you have your vision trait active, basic attacks deal 1% damage to heroes.
Do people actually pick that?
No.
That's such a pointless talent. Oh my god.
It's so bad.
Because 16 is the one that you get the double.
Yeah, you get double storm.
Yeah. I call them zones. So
Yeah, 4 storms.
yeah, it's fine. Alrighty, guys.
Okay, I found one. Wait.
Slexia's got one.
Sorry.
Do I get a turn?
Yes.
Turn? This is just me clicking around. Seal Fate.
I know that one, actually.
Is that Leoric?
It's think World of Warcraft.
Gul'dan?
Think something that
Melee.
I'm constantly afraid of as a healer if it's played. She's
Thrall?
scandalous. She is scandalous.
It's Miss Stabby Stabby.
No,
He doesn't even know this hero. Valera.
Valera.
Oh,
Valera,
yeah, no, I don't like her at all.
I know that
I know,
because
right?
Feel Fate's a rogue talent, and
Luckier for you, no one in D plays it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well,
she's a terror.
yeah. All right, guys. I think that was fun. I got 33% of them correct. So I'm going to call that a win.
Mm-hmm. That's passing,
All right.
maybe.
I think we still had a higher percentage, but whatever.
It's
In the
higher than
United
the
States, that's
Garrosh rate in C.
Mm-hmm.
It's a win.
She makes
There
a
we
good
go.
point.
Well, that was another rousing, successful segment, Turds Talents. So, way to go. We proved our worth as panelists together.
Somewhat.
We did.
All right, and I alluded to this. I want to announce the streamer of the week. It is Mr. Bellalos.
Bellalos.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm going to go with
Bellalos. I'm wrong.
Bellalos.
You're right.
Bellalos?
You're right.
Okay.
You can just call him Bell.
Yeah, they call him Bell, so I'll call him Bell. Bell had he's casted a couple games this week. He had casted, I think, the Bancho versus Winky Face and the Jailbait versus Heroes of the United States. Definitely has a pretty great production value going on over there. And he's getting a lot of attention from Jason and the other top casters. And he was picked by our head caster as the caster of the week. So, did you guys catch any of his matches?
I did.
I think I saw the Bancho versus Winky Face. I know I watched one of his casts this week.
Yeah, he's got a green screen. It's pretty good production value. So shout out to him. We're gonna have a link down below for you to check out his stream. We've got his VODs posted to the NGS YouTube page. So go ahead and check him out. Keep your eye out for his casts.
Take his eye out.
Okay.
Eye for an eye.
Will do.
Do not do
Join the Dread Pirates.
There we are. All right, guys. I think that's going to bring us to a fan favorite.
Or Winky Face.
No, we're not going to Winky Face. It's going to be 5 highlights of the week. Of the week.
Highlights of the week.
Oh yes, the best. Yes. Woo.
Woo. All right, guys. Starting us out at number 5, it's Vault of the Apocalypse. Show the monolithic clip.
Here, that's what I like to call it, the rotisserie with these little belts, taking people pretty much everywhere. And if you're the team with more turrets, which Almost Legends has 2, as Contender's going to go in and get the big double tether and the cage. Oh my sweet God almighty. Actually, I framed. Oh my God. Someone clipped that at this moment. Contender with the jump. The Vault of the Wardens. Actually, I framed the Anubarak cocoon.
And now for our number 4 clip, Ping Pong Snowball. Show the clip.
So this thing is probably going to be able to make its way through, and Divehard is definitely looking for any aggression they can get. There goes Syndragosa. I didn't realize that Syndragosa was in this game, and that is going to put things in a bad spot for Ginormous Jaegers, as they all get bounced around by that Warden's Cage that was placed in just a wonderful position.
And for our number 3 clip, it's Abathur versus the World. Show the clip.
These team fights are something else. That is the Auric that will be taking this for free. That's actually a ton of damage going out just from that element. There's no way. No way. What is going on? What is this game? What is going on here? This monstrosity is single-handedly taking out these enemy teams. What?
And at number 2, we have Gonna Fly Now. Gonna show you the clip.
Here's the rest of the
Doesn't have a
sports.
care in the world, honestly. This is a very ballsy fight. You know, not even having 16, they did a great job.
Ooh, a huge Junkrat mine and a toss from Garrosh will bury Uther back behind that fort, and he will not make it out.
And for our number 1 clip of the week, it's Behold, the Fire Lord. Show the clip.
This is a hard commit to keep wall. I don't know if I like this decision. They are in a bit of an awkward spot. They're trying to face him in. Rag gonna go for... Ooh, there's the focus onto Ariel, but the heals are coming in. There's the shield. Ariel keeping herself alive. Vala, though, does go down. Rag not going to be able to save enough, but there's the stun with the lava wave, chunking out a ton of damage, and Whitemaid's going to be the next fall. And Mariner is still alive, below 500 health, and it's Scooty Jr. is going to drop it. So while Vala goes down, they got a ton of value off the Ragnaros.
And that's how Ragnaros gets it done. Gets that level 20 heroic core.
Molten core, yeah.
Molten core? I thought it was heroic core.
It's heroic difficulty on his molten core.
All right. Well, this
There you
isn't
go.
Turd's Talents, man. So what'd you think?
So I really liked how it was looking for calculated throw. Mystic
Right.
had that super spicy Jaina Ring of Frost flank coming in. Honestly, I thought yes, they had the spell armor from the Night Camp pushing in for House of Ches, but I thought it was pretty much a done deal. Post 20, Ring of Frost going down.
But
But
which
I
thing
guess-
did they miss?
Yeah, they missed Ragnaros. He scooted away over to that broken down fort, put himself in it. Heroic difficulty unlocked. Ariel doing Ariel things, managing to keep everyone up except for the Vala, and then Ragnaros just cleaned her up. It was one of those ones that, like, if you show the beginning of the clip and then you're like, is A going to happen or is B going to happen?
Yeah.
Everyone would pick, like, A, calculated throw is going to wipe this. And then, just kidding.
And shout out to that. Who was the Ragnaros player?
Ragnaros player was Death 1300, I believe.
There you go. So DB Smiley obviously getting some really enjoying that one. So Ziltoid,
Yeah.
what did you think?
Of that specific clip?
That clip, other clips, what did you think?
I mean, that one obviously deserves the top spot because it was a nice turnaround fight. And he managed, like, he knew the fight was coming, so he landed the lava wave.
Right.
And it connected right on top of them, right in the middle of the team fight where they could go nowhere after he got a big swipe of his hammer. So, like, he did, like, turn the fight almost by himself. You know, he didn't kill everybody by himself, but he turned the fight because of both of those, that really fast heroic difficulty pickup and then that lava wave that he pre-cast prior to the fight actually kind of unleashing on everyone, which was pretty heads up by him. But I'm also a little partial to the pinball snowball one because that one's one that I casted. And at the time when I was casting it, I had forgotten or not noticed that Arthas had gone Syndragosa. So all of a sudden Syndragosa comes in, and then in goes Maiev, and then there's Warden's Cage, and then there's 5 people, and they literally hit every single wall and just bounced around the interior. I just thought that was a lot of fun, so I enjoyed that one.
And I'm a real big fangirl whenever B-Train gets on these highlights. He is perfectly highlightable, sometimes the way he casts. Slexia, let's talk about that number 5 clip, the Vault of the Apocalypse.
Yeah, wow. Seeing it IRL firsthand was absolutely crazy, but just the way those teams were set up and the way that went down was so quick and just explosive that it had to be clipped to just let your brain actually take it in, because seeing it live was like, what is happening here? You know, they drafted these teams for just incredible wombos, and we saw it happen, like perfect case scenario.
There you go. Any other of the clips that you enjoyed?
Definitely enjoyed the Ragnaros clip with that Molten Core heroic, because the other team, you can tell, drafted a wombo setup. but it really is what got them killed in the end because they were hovering around their own circle of doom, you know, what they tried to do to kill the other team, and that was too bad. Definitely the Nobo clip, I was part of casting that as well with Ragnarok on that Junkrat, just using that mine to knock, I believe it was Uther to the fort.
Yep.
For annihilation.
Baited him into the bush, then knocked him over the wall, and then he got thrown behind the fort. I mean, that's just...
And then got away
money.
Safely, like chased around the conveyor belts for quite some time. You know, they were so thirsty for that. Yeah, and I remember during the game, it was risky for them to even engage in that fight, the team that was against Nobo, because they were not 16. But they were clearly upset and wanted that revenge kill, you know.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't get that satisfaction.
All right. Anything else from the top 5 highlights, guys?
I just want to mention that that's our second, I believe, Junkrash into Garrosh double boop. So those clips are fun.
We like those plays. Keep them coming. Yeah,
I think we're both Nobo, actually. I think both of them might have been Nobo.
Well, so if you're Nobo and you want to get on Nexus Edge, just do a double boop.
Keep running Junkrat Garrosh.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's move on to our next topic. It's going to be the matchups to watch. So, Slexia, why don't you start us off? What matchup should we watch?
I'm feeling that Queen's Consorts versus Gimme the D Shield next Saturday. It's going to be a heated match.
Very nice. It's a 2 and a 3 seed going up against each other. Always great matches to watch when those happen. Because definitely could turn up or change out who seeds where and what and whatever in the playoffs. So,
and everyone loves a good Rexpa highlight.
Everyone. Are we going to see Queen's Consorts? Let them get over you? I don't know.
I thought the win rate was low.
Not
in heroic division. In heroic division.
Yeah.
Not
in division. I think it's propped up solely by Rexpa, but I haven't looked at the
stats. Let's go. I had a Division B matchup. It's going to be Gilly Shark versus Jailbait. That's a number 1 seed versus I think maybe a 3.
Jailbait's 4, I want to say.
Yeah, but it might be really close.
It is.
It's 4th seed, but they're really close. Only 1 point behind Minion Miners. So definitely want to see if someone else can maybe take a little chip at the armor of Gilly Shark, but they've been really, really strong. Really like watching their matches. So I think that's one that everyone should keep an eye out for. What match did you have?
I'm taking a look at Almost Legends versus Winky Face over on C East, sorry.
Man, we really love B-Train on this cast.
We really love the B-Train. Love the B-Train, love the Born to Shine, 2 of our friends here at Nexus Edge. But not just because of that. Around 8th seed, Winky Face is sitting at the 8th seed, so just at that cutoff for playoffs. 3 other teams tied for them at 10 or 3 teams in total tied at 10 points. Wood League just behind them at 9 points. So kind of depending on how this game goes could really determine whether Winky Face is looking at a playoff seed or if they're going to get knocked out and just fall short. So good luck to the Winky Face people. It'll be a fun game to watch, and hopefully they can take it.
Very nice. And Ziltoid, what matchup do you want to watch this week?
OC Peach Boys versus Cloud Mines. That would be D West.
Yes.
The number 2 and 3 seeds. There's 2 points separating them. So OC Peach Boys can get a win here. We will see a change up in the standings, or at least they'll even it up. I guess to get the domination, they'll pull ahead. Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see if they can pull that one off.
Yeah, and
domination ties them with Pigeon Stitches for first place. So.
Yep.
And I don't know, have Pigeon Stitches and that team, have they played? And I don't know yet.
I don't believe so. Let me really quick go through these.
Yeah, I would just be curious to see if there would be a tiebreaker, or if it would just go down to, I don't even know the tiebreakers after domination versus not domination.
OC Peach Boys and Pigeon Stitches are 8th round match. So very last match of the season, we'll see those 2 juggernauts go up against each other.
Definitely something to watch out for on another episode of Nexus Edge. We'll highlight it, I'm sure, then.
Exactly.
Maybe even if they actually schedule it on a Thursday or Monday
or Tuesday.
Or Tuesday, I guess.
I think yeah, exactly. So
any day, just schedule any day, and we'll just make a showdown day for you. That works these days.
Yeah, seems like it. But shout out quickly to Jason and the doing best work on the Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday night showdowns. He keeps me on my toes, filling transition, letting my creative juices flow, etc., etc. So really appreciate that. Now, let's get into the hard-hitting questions. Our last segment, it's questions from #EdgeQuestions. So we haven't had a lot this week, but luckily, last week, or the week before last week, we were filled with plentiful numbers of questions. We have plenty to go through today. So we're going to start it out. What divisions do you see really generating a separate meta? What divisions do you see holding true to kind of a pro meta? So I thought this was a good question because Slexia was actually talking about with the Division C.
So generating their own meta is Division C, in my opinion, based on what I've seen. I've been hanging around Venus too much. I need to stop with the puns. I'm starting to hate myself. And then I feel like my opinion is that maybe Heroic is more meta. Even Division A, with having Nobo at the top with their meme team, with even like the Gazlo and stuff, really is so meta. So I can't say they're sticking to meta. And when we see meta trying to maintain in those lower divisions, those have the low win percent. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, whoa, why don't you tell us?
Yeah, I think the trend is pretty self-explanatory that kind of the lower you go in the divisions, the more success you're going to see when you're playing comfort picks. So a lot of those players in the lower divisions like to play things like the Kel'Thas, like the Asmodan, things that we jokingly and lovingly refer to as like Hero League or Team League, Silver League picks. So, but I mean, they do well in those leagues for a reason, because they're easy to get value from. They're relatively easy to play. A lot of them do a lot of strong spread AoE damage. So, and then kind of as you move up the ranks, you see things kind of form a bit more to what I guess we could call the pro meta, the Div S meta, even the heroic meta. So the meta sorted or set out by the current players at the top. Obviously, things like Nobo, Eastbroats kind of throws wrenches into that. In Div B, we have everyone's favorite Soak Every Lane. B-Med plays some interesting heroes that make some interesting comps around that. So nothing's going to be quite 100% meta, no matter how high up you go. But definitely kind of top-down. At the top, you have more meta, although there is some weird experimentation. And then as you go down lower, you get kind of less into what's a good hero and more into what can I play well, what's comfortable to play.
Right. And we even talked about, Rexpa on Orphea. He almost sets his own meta in Division A with that hero just because he's so technically good at that. Ziltoid, what are your thoughts?
I think there's a very big correlation between practice time and what gets played. And the lower you are in the divisions, the less organized practice you'll tend to see, and maybe less experienced players or whatever the case is. So yeah, they're going to stick to heroes that they can get value out of, that their team has had time to practice playing around. As you get into higher metas, or in higher divisions, there's going to be more practice time spent. There's going to be more coaching. There's going to be more outside influence in what people decide to play and how they practice and what they play. So, even just referring to like Nobo with Gazlo, they still had very concrete ideas of what they were doing with that hero. They had strong intentions, and it was practiced. They knew exactly what they were trying to get out of running that hero. They knew it would throw the teams off. They knew they'd be able to do certain things with it. I know that they ARAM a lot, but I mean, that still gives them plenty of team fight practice and team cohesion practice down a single lane. And all those players have been around in the scene for so long that they all do understand the macro game. They do understand how to win on maps, so they can adapt those team fighting techniques that they practice kind of into their already strong macro understanding of the game, and that's why they've been performing so well in Division A. But that's the thing, as you get into higher, things get very technical, and there's a lot of practice time. If you watch the Nexpert segment that I did with Met, he points out very specifically that he spends 20 hours to 30 hours a week playing this game, learning heroes, learning compositions, and they're doing scrims, they're doing all these kinds of stuff. Yeah. So that is what determines meta to me more than anything else, is how many heroes can you play, how much practice time can you get with your team, and how well are you guys going to perform with those things. And when you just pick up random heroes that you don't practice very well, even if they're meta heroes, they're going to look very bad. They're not going to perform well.
Right. Now, what impact, if any, do you think not having HGC is playing on meta? Do you think, for example, Season 5, I thought being in the lower division, we saw a lot of comps and meta heroes coming what seemed to be directly from HGC, copycat kind of comps, copycat kind of heroes. Is that something that you think is an interesting phenomenon or not? Whoa, why don't you start us off?
I definitely think that having a less prevalent pro scene, like with the loss of HGC, has kind of, like you said, impacted less of the copycat style. That being said, for anyone who bothers to watch or to look, there are still the Heroic games, the Div-S games, the Heroes Lounge games. There's a lot of still really high-level play out there. Maybe not quite to the same caliber, but it's the best caliber we got. So for the players who wanted to kind of look at the pros, see what they're doing, and emulate it, all those resources are still there. Those games are still being played.
Yeah, it's just not at Blizzard.com or whatever.
It's just not at Blizzard.com, exactly. Yeah. But it's almost easier for your average NGS player to find, because NGS is doing such a good job advertising the games being played, who's casting, what's going on, game of the week. It's easy to find out what's going on. So
right.
I don't know if I would attribute it that much. I don't know. That's my
point. I think that we're seeing some other weird things. Like B-Train mentioned he saw a triple tank comp, I believe, from from a Heroic or an S game, and we're seeing more double support comps as well. So without that public spotlight with HGC, even though there are other games being shown, it's evolving on its own. And that's the cool thing about it. That's where people's comfort picks do make their way back into the new meta,
Or you see people playing meme picks. I casted last week. I saw a Zool, Lenara something game. It was just insane. I was like, what is this comp? I've never seen this,
What is it?
Exactly.
It's their meta.
Exactly. Ziltoid, what do you think?
HGC existed in a bubble.
Yeah.
Separate from the rest of the community and the average player, even the amateur, even open division to a degree. Because like I was talking about before, practice time goes from 20 hours a week to 40 hours plus. And when you get into those types of situations, and you're also competing for money, tournament locations, or whatever the case is. So, the stakes are much higher. So what's picked, what's played, what practiced becomes very different for very different reasons. And there wasn't a lot of great communication from HGC to the rest of the community at large to kind of get this across. So yeah, you would see people mimicking, say, a Fnatic global comp draft on Sky Temple, and they would just bomb because they have no idea or the coordination or the practice time on how to execute this composition appropriately. So the thing about the HGC is I don't think that it had a very good direct kind of influence on the amateur scene, because they just played so many things. They played a lot of different comps that take so much time to nail down and learn that there was a big disconnect on what was good. And without it now, at least you don't have all the people going, well, they play this in HGC, so obviously it's the best thing there is. And it's just like, well, within the HGC bubble, it was competitive and strong, but you're not playing this game 40 plus hours a week. You're not doing it with your team, doing 8 hours of scrims a day. So when you don't have that base in which to do so, you have to find other ways to play and other ways to win. And that is where we're at with even Div S or Heroic Division. Now we're part-timers. Now we're 20 hours, 30 hours a week hops. So the meta is going to change in those areas because they have to adjust to the amount of practice time that's actually available to them to learn the comps and learn the things that are going to work and what's going to be able to counter those things, right? You also don't have teams playing exactly the same 8 teams on a consistent basis who learn each other's metas and bounce back and forth. There's going to be a bit more mixing and a bit more. We're hopefully and definitely have already seen a lot more creative approaches to the game and a few more heroes making their way into the meta. And that has a lot to do with I think, the way that we have to practice versus what they had to do in HGC.
Absolutely. Cannot disagree with that. So, my second Edge question, super serious. What's your best impression of one of the heroes in Heroes of the Storm? And you have to do the impression. Anyone want to volunteer as volunteer as the first one?
I've been trolling.
Which one's that?
Is that ETC?
No,
Sujin.
The actor himself.
They sound the same.
I'm thinking.
Let's try again. Let's do it again. I want to say it again, Zoltoid. Come on.
Slama Ashalonore!
Yeah. Salami Man!
All right. Yeah, that's KT. All right.
So he's good. Stay a while and listen. It's the best I got.
Okay. A younger Deckard Kane.
I got mine.
Whoa.
Aye.
Oh my god. That's Nazebo.
That's Nazebo.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
I hear the call.
Slexia, do you want to give one? You don't have to.
Yeah, it's Lunara, the laugh, the ha ha ha.
Yeah. Yes.
There you go.
Also laughing, White Mane? Do you want to give it a go?
Oh, that one is.
It's something like that. I don't know.
There's that one, and then there's like the evil, like, ha ha ha, while she's like laser beaming or whatever.
I thought she gets bored and she's just like, whatever, like, take this W.
I'm over it.
You're the cold.
There you go. Oh, Rexar, I know that one. I liked it. I liked it a lot. That was a good one. Ziltoid, we're getting towards the end of the show. Do you want to talk about an expert?
Which one?
Well, I think we have one from our buddy Rio Kai, don't we?
Yes, we do. And it's going to be upcoming tomorrow.
Very nice.
On the YouTube. Edited and ready by our lovely producer, Arthana. And it's got a lot of spicy stuff on it. I honestly think that if the people that watch this, it will literally change the way people play and the effectiveness. I really want to actually pay attention to see if the win rate of the hero that we talk about, because I'm not going to reveal it here. You got to watch.
You're not going to reveal it?
No, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what it is. But if you watch it tomorrow, it will change the way you play the hero. I can tell you right now that I've tested the builds and the concepts that Ryokai shoots out there, and I mean, it is spicy. This is a absolute fantastic show. Please watch it tomorrow. You'll enjoy it, and we're going to get some more in. I've got another guest expert, hopefully going to be ready to go next week. What do you want?
Diltoid, I have a question.
Yeah.
Before we recorded this, I played one quick match with the build of the hero we're talking about, and I lost. Does that mean it's a bad build?
Yeah.
You're a support player?
Oh man, I also played this build and lost.
Now I'm curious if you can type it so I can at least see.
I'll type it for you.
For the record, I played this build and won, and I'm an assassin player, unlike Turret Herder.
Wow, okay.
Oh,
My spelling was completely off, but
Okay,
It's
well,
like mostly there.
The point of the
if
series
it's
is
the
to
build
highlight.
that Sorry.
No, so there is a not Paradox build out there that is also good in its own right, but I do think that this one is superior, and Ryokai goes through all the reasons on why. There's also some supplemental documents and a build on heroeshurt.com that he has that you can also pick up on and take a look at. The whole point of the Nexus series is to highlight, kind of underplayed or maybe undervalued or kind of heroes that tend to slide underneath the radar that actually are really good. And I'm trying to get really, the top players in the amateur scene in NA right now, and Division S too as well. So I had met Ryokai isn't in Division S, but he is in the in-house scrims. So he's definitely a high level player, and you should definitely take what he has to say extremely seriously because he does know what he's talking about.
And this build hasn't been a secret. It was out in December. So if you pay attention to Ryokai, you know exactly what we're talking about. But if you don't, tune in because it's going to be a good one. Besides the support players, it sounds like it's a pretty spicy way to play the game. So definitely getting some value, taking their Heroes of the Storm to the edge.
Absolutely.
That's what I like to hear. All right. That's it, guys. We did it.
Slexia, you did it.
We did it.
Oh my
We
gosh.
did it.
I would like to. Yeah. Well, wait. I gotta say goodbye. Hold on. I would like to thank all of our panelists, all of you guys. Where can the people reach you?
You can find me on Twitter at WoNoHots or anywhere NGS or Battle.net Wono.
Anywhere NGS is played. Wono. Ziltoid, where can the people find you?
At the moment, twitch.tv/PS Ziltoid is where I'm doing all of my casts, and then my VODs you'll find on the Nexus Gaming Series when they get linked there by Jason. So just keep on out. I'm really trying to power through it. I'm trying to make sure that by the end of the season, almost as if not all, most of the replay casts are done, and I'll try to pick up some live ones as well.
Slexia, where can the people find more of you?
Well, in the Nexus, obviously, first and foremost, because it is my hobby. Second, you can find me occasionally streaming the video game. The self-proclaimed saltiest stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Slexia, or on Twitter. Apparently, that's a thing. You'll find no posts for me, but you can follow me at Sparkles, SHPARKLEZZ.
Perfect.
That's pretty much it. Also, I'm going to go live. I'm going to do it live and cast my first game because apparently I'm at liberty to do that.
Hey.
It's going to be a real crazy time.
Real spicy one.
Come watch it.
People have to keep in tune for that because that's it's going to be a spicy one. And
For
follow
sure.
Sparkles.
Please.
Sparkles.
Follow me. Be my fourth follower.
I'm, of course, we're going to get you up to 5 after this show.
Ooh, don't tease me with a good time.
I'm, of course, Turd Herder. You can find me at Turd Herder Hots in game at, I think it's Turd_Herder. I'm an adult. YouTube is probably Turd Herder. You get the picture. All right, guys, before we bounce out of here, I want to shout out our behind-the-scenes research analysts. I've missed this a couple weeks, so I really want to make sure I get this. We have Key, BMed, Monkas, -40, Ryokai, Himibo, Chaotic Order. All of you guys are doing a great job helping us out. You heard us talking about stats that were pulled for us. These are the guys that are pulling stats. This week was Key and Ryokai doing a really good job helping get this show. Yeah.
Special thanks to Ryokai. He did a lot of work for us pre-show today, so shout out to you.
And he did it on a 1-hour order. So shout out to that guy. Doing a lot of good work here today, tomorrow, every day. And guys, why don't you say your goodbyes? Whoa, start us out.
Yeah. I'll also give a special shout out before we go to Falendrith. And as always, Stats of the Storm, amazing work. And you also managed to push out an update for us before the show today. So you are our lifeline and our savior. Thanks, and I'll see you guys later.
Very much. Ziltoid, sign out.
See you later, guys. Catch the Nexperts, and any of the showdown casts and stuff like that. You'll see me a bunch there, and hopefully we'll see more interaction from the community.
Slexia.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me. I was so flattered to even be considered because I'm an actual nobody, but here I am, just for playing a game and being invited here. I'm just flattered, and really what you guys have going on is spectacular. The professionalism of your team and the execution of even this show, I truly appreciate. You know, sometimes you see a league like this and you're like, oh, what is it? I mean, just a couple people in a basement, you know, eating
I'm literally
Doritos.
in a basement.
I'm also in a basement.
You know, just like playing the game, like, oh, let's call ourselves a board member, but there's actual stuff happening. Like, it's real. These are actually, there are statistics involved and deep thoughts, which is great. But I want to give a shout out to Venus as well for letting me be his co-caster and giving me some great opportunities. I feel comfortable now, whereas in the beginning, just like before this show, I was like sweating bullets, just checking my pulse, like, oh my God, can I do this? And it's almost over if I just shut up, you know what I mean? So I definitely want to shout him out, shout B-Train out for that, you know, that epic cast with him and Mongoose too. Also, I want to shout B-Train out for his pickup line in the game we casted together. I truly appreciate that.
I don't know what this is, but I feel like I have to go find out.
Yeah, there is a clip of it. It's called Never Forget. There was a fort at 10 health, and I was like, it has exactly 10 health. And he said, you know why? Because you're a dime.
B-Train.
I know, and I just
NGS.
laughed.
Love connections.
And laughed. And laughed.
Video games bringing people together.
But it was great. I just love the way he speaks. And I think maybe this isn't a segment, but it's because, like I said, I can't shut up. He is exceptional. And I know he's going places in his casting. The way that he can just quickly articulate every single thing that's happening.
Everything.
In a millisecond. And yet we can understand it and also add some funny accents to it, some random things like the dummy thick or whatever, you know, he says coming in dummy thick with that thickness. Like he's great. And so I want to shout him out. And also my friends, Nobo E-Sprouts, they make me laugh. And I hope to see them maintain their top rank. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime. You have done a wonderful job, so don't worry about your nerves. Guys, this is Turd Herder here saying adios, amigos. Remember to stay safe in the Nexus and take your hots to the edge. Oh yeah, we have a blooper reel, so do
I've seen it. My palms are sweating.
Esteemed host Turd Herder, and I always f this up.
You were doing so well.
I know. I don't.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
She's just excited for Heroes of the Storm.
Real excited.
I mean, who isn't?
I have 2 boys.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
You're asking.
We're asking Jay to cut some of this.
Yeah, we're gonna have to edit a bunch. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry, okay. Jason. Oopsies.
Well, if we're gonna highlight the heroes, I kind of forgot to do that with Heroic and me.
I thought we talked about we're just lumping everything together.
Yeah, well, I mean, I must have forgotten. My
Get on in there.
Today.
Get it.
So,
I don't want to go out because then my dog's gonna start barking.
Yeah, just let yourself. It's fine.
It's outrageous. But that'll be our first break, bathroom, water, etc. Okay?
Okay, so if we don't take a break, then I'll just piss my chair, yes?
Works for me.
Okay, cool. I'm rendered blind from having this lighting, so I actually couldn't see the clip.
All right. What is this one called? I can't read my writing. It looks like
It's like getting my
Ping Pong
fake
Smolder
smile ready.
Showdown.
Consorts against Gimme the D Shield next Saturday. Actually, it's today, but I don't know when this is played. Let's start over. Okay. Time math is the worst.
Yeah.